Hello everyone, welcome back to the Model Railroad Club. Today's review, first time in 4 years, as my live studio audience just walks out the door. Filmed in front of a live studio audience.
No.
Anyways, this is my first model train review in 4 years on the channel. So here we go. I have the Broadway Limited Imports Paragon 4. This is the UP484 FEF-3, numbered 838. This has double stack, smokestack, in black and graphite scheme. So first start out by sliding it out of the package. Then clamshell pulls out right here. There are actually 3 poly bags, but I only have 2 right here. This just has, zoom back in, traction tires and tool to remove the pistons or side rods to install the traction tires, and then an extra coupler and a couple screws. So in the bottom, slides out, we have all the paperwork, all the documentation. That's all that's in it. We have the owner's operator's manual, your typical Broadway Limited operator's manual. Shows you all your CVs, connecting the locomotive tender, smoke, and all that. Your list of CVs. You have your limited 1-year warranty slip. You have a list of functions. This one's Pro mode. The other side is Standard mode. It mostly looks the same. Then you have exploded parts diagram. One side's tender. Flip it around. You have the locomotive. Putting this away off to the side. Then we have the locomotive itself. It's in a 4-piece clamshell. Slide it out of the sleeve. Or it's 3-piece clamshell plus sleeve. Pull the sides off. They are all labeled, wrong end, right with arrow. And I have bigger studio audience now. Right, left, they're labeled. Tells you which way they go. That way you don't forget. Then pull out, open. Then you can just take it out. So unlike Paragon 3, this is my only Paragon 4 locomotive I have, so don't know how other Paragon 4 locomotives are. But they, tender and cab, come all the way already connected. You can disconnect them just by simply lifting up and pulling them apart and then disconnecting the wires in between, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to. Now on to everything else on the locomotive. There, starting from the front of the locomotive, you have working headlight. Underneath it you have the UP shield with the number, working number boards and class lights, bell which does swing. You do have a working UDE light on this model. Down below, on the pilot, you just press a certain way, maybe. The front coupler does swing out. It is a dummy, but the included coupler that comes with the model is, or the replacement knuckle that came with it in the poly bag, that is the replacement for this to make it an actual functioning coupler. But I'm not going to double head, so I'm going to do that. Moving on, you have smokestack, double smokestack. Yeah, focus. Maybe focus one of these days. There it goes. I just tapped the model. by accident. No damage. That's good. So you have double smokestack and a smoking whistle. So it's all incorporated together in the same smoke unit. The smoke unit's in two halves with two blowers, one for the stack and one for the whistle. For the whistle, there's a little hole underneath it that just blows the smoke around it. Aside from that, it's pretty much basic Broadway steam locomotive. Cab interior, I do believe, is lit. Doors on the back do not open. So they have a different design for the drawbar. Let me zoom in. So it is a hook now instead of a pin on the tender, and as the train horn goes in the background. Thanks to my live studio audience as he walks away. That's a hook, so this hooks together. You do have a connector right there. If you do want to separate the engine and tender from each other, you can right there. Just pull it out carefully, and then it's all separated. Moving on to the tender. Zoom back out. UP oil tender. On the rear of the locomotive. Working rear headlight. I think the class lights are non-functional. Same with the UDA light on the back. Does come pre-installed with metal knuckle couplers, which I will be checking here momentarily for the height gauge to make sure they are correctly in height. Using something a little more substantial. Go around to the engineer's side. Same as the fireman's side. There is a builder's plate on the tender. You zoom in way, that's where it really zoomed in. Focus, please. One of these days it's going to focus. It is legible under magnification, although that's really out of focus. Maybe it'll focus now. No. But it is legible, as are all the markings, the lettering, every bit of lettering on the locomotive is crisp and legible. Now I have had this locomotive apart once to clean the smoke unit because I accidentally overfilled it a little bit. And underneath the side shields, which are held down with 3 screws, there's actually builder's plates that are also legible that are hidden by the side shields. And those are in the standard locations on the smoke box, as you would normally see on really any Alco locomotive or Baldwin locomotive or any locomotive for that matter. Other than that, let's get it on to the coupler height gauge and check the coupler on the back. Okay, I have it here on the coupler height gauge. This is very precise. It is machined by Hauser Engineering Switchworks. I don't know if you can still get these or not, but putting it on the track that's milled into it, put it into the pocket, that's... So the trip pin is way too low, so -5 spikes. But I can fix that real quick. stand by real quick and I fix it. So after removing 5 spikes from the total review here, I've bent the trip pin up slightly and it fits in. It actually catches if you see that. Now that's, it actually is pushed up if you saw that. So it is very slightly low on the back. Obviously the front I can't test because there actually is no front coupler at the moment. But the coupler is slightly low. So minus another additional 2 spikes from the review for that. Oh man. Alright, so moving on. Gonna try adjusting that real quick. Alright, so after fixing the low coupler, I have placed it on the club layout in Quincy. Startup sequence. Typical with Broadway, you just twist the knob real quick and it'll start making sound. As soon as the engine is on, the cab light turns itself on and the smoke unit begins to work. Look, going over the list of functions, you have front headlight on F0. Begin the dynamo sound, and then the headlight should turn on in a second. The headlight turns on, marker lights turn on, as well as the number boards. F2 is the whistle, and it is a smoking whistle. F3 is coupler sounds, or if you have it in Pro mode, it will be the rear headlight. So F3 will start making noise when it starts moving. F4 is the air pump. F5, when the engine is stopped, is a blowdown. When a locomotive is moving, it is chuff volume increase. F6 is water fill. When the engine is moving, it is chuff volume decrease. F7 is smoke unit on and off. F8 is master volume and mute. I'll try to get back up. Yep, there we go. Oh, I still have it on mute. F10 is oil injector. F11 is water injector. F12 is brake set release. F13 is grade crossing signal. F14 is station sounds. F15 is yard radio chatter.
Permission to depart. Be advised, Roger, go. Permission to depart. Be advised, switches on the north end might be against you, so go out looking out for switches. That's a Roger, go.
F-16 is maintenance radio chatter.
Hey, have you got a pick on there? Yes, I do, over. There's a switch that goes up. They want to find out how many cars he's got first. Okay. Full tower. Emergency here on the 8-track.
Okay, that one is different. F-17 radio check chatter. That's literally it, just engineer and conductor, over. F-18 is crew chatter city.
Okay, occupied. Switching full position. Make sure you have communications with them. Roger. Okay, occupied. Switching full position.
F-19 is crew chatter in a farm setting.
700 cats, the big load for this grade. Yeah, we may need a pusher. Okay, roger that.
F-20 I will do here in a minute because that is the rear emergency light. Actually, I think you can see that. So rear emergency light on F-20. F-21 is lumber mill sounds. Sawmill that the chainsaw that sounds like a fart. F-22 is whistle toggle, so that goes to secondary whistle. There's a secondary whistle. F-23 track sounds toggle. That's probably going to only work when moving. So it's the clickety-clack. That's really what it is, and it's way too fast. F-24 Mars light, or UDE light on the front. F-25 is long whistle, which I'm not going to do right now. Then you have F-26 is macro playback, and F-27 is record macro. F-28 is brake squeal. Okay, so with all the functions gone over, now this is speed step 1. Speed step 2, and I'm going to stop. So on the rear of the locomotive, rear headlight is functional. Then you put the locomotive in reverse. And as with all Broadway locomotives, it does get slightly brighter as you start the locomotive moving. Same with turning off of the cab light, that's automatic. Now for an action shot of it moving at speed.